Just to be whoever you are is no disgrace. Don't be scared if you don't fit in. Look who's in the reject bin. It's the Raggy Dolls.
Raggy Dolls.
Raggy Dolls.
Raggy Dolls.
Dolls like you and me. Raggy Dolls.
Raggy Dolls.
Raggy Dolls.
Raggy Dolls.
Made him perfectly. So if you got a bump on your nose or lumps on your toes, do not despair. Be like the Raggy Dolls and say I just don't care. 'Cause Raggy Dolls,
Raggy Dolls.
Raggy Dolls,
Raggy
are
Dolls.
happy just to be Raggy Dolls, Raggy Dolls, dolls like you and me.
One hot night in August, there was a great storm. Rain pounded on the roof of Mr. Grimes' toy factory. Lightning flashed, thunder rolled, and the Raggy Dolls thought they would never get to sleep.
I'm stifling,
Groaned Sad Sack.
I'm frightened,
Whispered Lucy.
I wish this thunder would stop.
Thunder can't hurt you. Count between the claps, said Hi-Fi. That tells you how many miles away it is.
1, 2, 3, began back to front. 4, 5, 6. It was like counting sheep. Very soon, all the Raggy Dolls were fast asleep. When they woke up next morning, the storm was over. The sky was bright blue and a beam of sunshine streamed straight into the reject bin. All the Raggy Dolls wanted to be out in the fresh air, even Sad Sack.
I suppose a walk might be a good idea,
He admitted.
Let's go and see Pumpernickel,
Said Lucy.
It must have been scary being a scarecrow last night.
You're telling me, agreed Back to Front. So, after breakfast, they all set off through the fields to visit Pumpernickel. The grass felt cool and pleasantly damp underfoot. Birds sang in the hedges, bees buzzed, and butterflies danced in the summer air.
Isn't this fun?
Cried Lucy.
Ma,
Shh, said Dotty.
ma,
Listen.
ma.
Oh dear, is it lions?
Whispered Lucy.
Don't be silly.
Said Dotty. Hi-Fi climbed onto Back to Front's shoulders and peered over the hedge.
It's a herd of cows,
He cried.
They look quite fierce.
Zut alors! Exclaimed Claude. Lucy was all of a tremble again.
Ma, ma. No one's milked us this morning. It's most uncomfortable. Please get Farmer Brown.
Righto, no problem, said Back to Front nervously.
Ma.
In the next field, the Raggy Dolls saw some pigs. They were also making a dreadful noise.
Where's Farmer Brown? We want our breakfast. The trough's empty. We're starving.
They grunted.
I know just how they feel.
Thought Sad Sack. Soon the Raggy Dolls reached Pumpernickel's field. At first, they couldn't see him, but when they came closer, they found him lying flat on his face in the mud. Are you all right? Asked Back to Front anxiously.
Help me up.
Cried Pumpernickel.
Set me straight.
Mais oui, immédiatement, said Claude. But how?
Get Farmer Brown. He'll know what to do. Roar!
Groaned Pumpernickel. Claude took off his scarf and laid it under the Scarecrow's face so that his nose wouldn't stick into the mud anymore. Then the Raggy Dolls hurried to One Pin Farm where Farmer Brown lived. They peered through his windows. They banged on his front door and on his back door. But there was no one at home except Rufus, Farmer Brown's faithful old dog. he was locked indoors and started barking when he saw the Raggy dolls.
Where's your master?
Called Dotty.
There's been an accident, explained Princess. Pumpernickel's fallen down.
The pigs need for feeding, and the cows need milking.
No, and I need letting out of this house.
Barked Rufus crossly.
Where's his lordship?
We thought you'd know that, said Dotty.
Well, I don't.
Snapped Rufus. He didn't like being locked indoors. Back to Front was looking in the barn. It was empty. No tractor. That's funny, he thought. Farmer Brown doesn't usually take his tractor out so early.
Something's happened, said Dotty. I expect it was that storm last night. This calls for action, everybody. We must put our thinking caps on.
Sad Sack was crouching over some tracks in the mud.
If you ask me, he said, those are tractor tracks.
I bet we find the tractor at the end of them,
said Hi-Fi. Et voilà! And Farmer Brown, said Claude. The Raggy dolls managed to open the back door and let Rufus out. In return, he let them ride on his back as he followed the tracks in the mud.
Giddy up! Attaboy! Search, Rufus!
Farmer Brown was in desperate trouble. Last night, he'd been driving home in his tractor when the storm broke. In no time at all, the lane had turned into a river of mud. It looked as if there was a landslide ahead. So he climbed down to investigate, and before he knew how it happened, he slipped down a steep bank and found himself at the bottom of an old mine shaft. Lucky to be alive.
Help!
Called Farmer Brown. He'd been calling for help all night, but no one had heard him.
Help! Help!
Shh! Do you hear what I hear?
Help!
Asked Dotty. Rufus ran to the edge of the shaft and began barking. Farmer Brown was overjoyed.
Rufus, you good dog! Fetch help!
He called. Luckily, Back to Front had noticed a coil of rope tied to the tractor. The Raggy dolls helped Rufus carry it to the edge of the shaft.
Now lower it carefully,
Whispered Dotty.
no problem.
Back to Front whispered back.
Oh no! There isn't enough rope to reach him,
Thought Sad Sack. But there was. Only just. Rufus barked and barked as Farmer Brown began pulling himself up the slippery bank. Let us hide, my friends, whispered Claude.
We don't want him to see us,
Agreed Lucy. So the Raggy dolls crept into the trailer and hid under some old sacks. Presently, they heard Farmer Brown saying,
Clever old Rufus! Fancy remembering that rope! You deserve a medal.
And then the tractor engine started up and the trailer began jolting on its way.
It's not fair,
Said Sad Sack.
Back to Front found that rope. He should get the medal, not Rufus.
I don't mind, said Back to Front. Farmer Brown's safe and we're on our way home again. That's what matters.
Well said,
said Dotty. As soon as he'd had some breakfast, Farmer Brown was out in his fields again, milking the cows, feeding the pigs, and seeing to Pumpernickel.
Oh dear, said Princess. I've just remembered something. Claude's scarf,
cried Lucy. Oh, c'est la vie, said Claude. It is of no importance. In the factory, there is another whole box of them. For once, that scarecrow will look, how you say, très élégant. Farmer Brown didn't know where Claude's scarf had come from. He stuck it in Pumpernickel's pocket, and for a scarecrow, Pumpernickel did look unusually smart.
much of a life when you're just a pretty face. Just to be whoever you are is no disgrace. Look around and you will find people of every kind, like the raggy dolls,
Raggy dolls,
raggy dolls,
raggy dolls,
dolls like you and me. Raggy dolls,
raggy dolls,
raggy dolls,
raggy dolls,
made imperfectly. So if you're not at ease with your knobbly knees and your fingers are all fuzz, stand on your two left feet